By the next morning, our HOA wasn't the same. A new notice appeared, effective immediately. Pool access suspended until cleaning and updated keycard system installation. Payment of dues required for reactivation. And below that, overdue members listed in alphabetical order. There it was, Whitmore Karen, 1347 pending. She tried covering it with a sticky note. Someone pulled it off, twice. The green pool meme was still circulating online. One tweet read, "When karma comes in powdered form and is pool safe." I didn't brag. I didn't gloat. I just walked by the now quiet pool, breathing in the peace I hadn't felt in months. Final justice. Quiet peace and life. After Karen, the neighborhood felt different after the infamous green pool incident. Quieter, lighter. Like someone had finally opened a window in a room full of stale air. No shouting, no pool parties with uninvited cousins, no glittery sun hats marching around policing lawn heights. For the first time in months, Willow Creek felt like... But peace didn't happen instantly. Oh no, first came consequences. The debt and the downfall. 2 days after the vote, an official letter was delivered to every resident. HOA Financial Summary. Public record, Karen Whitmore, total. Due, 347 late payment penalties added. HOA, board membership revoked, access to all community amenities, suspended until paid in full. When Karen saw her name publicly displayed on the community bulletin, she ripped the paper down. By noon, 5 fresh copies were taped right back up, not by me, by the neighbors. Her husband tried paying half. The HOA said full payment only. She applied for a grace extension. It was denied. Power, it turned out, had an expiration date. New systems, new rules. Within a week, the pool entrance was upgraded. A sleek black digital keycard scanner replaced the old manual lock. Only residents fully paid on dues received their cards. No card, no entry. No exceptions. Even the Whitmore's attempts to sneak in early morning failed. Karen tried tapping her outdated card. Access denied. The gate beeped loudly, like it was laughing. She glared at the camera installed above it. Yes, we added those too. The first real pool day. The pool reopened with new rules, fresh water, and 0 freeloaders. I arrived early, book in hand. For the first time, it was calm. Just a few neighbors, quiet conversations, kids who actually lived here, laughing softly. Mrs. Lambert waved at me from her lounge chair. Mr. Patel offered me lemonade. Even the Donovans gave me a nod, their silent way of saying thank you. Someone joked, "At least the water is blue again." I smiled. For now. The day Karen walked by, she came by eventually. No sunglasses, no clipboard, no entourage, just Karen, walking past the pool fence with a stiff spine and tired eyes. She paused for a moment, watching us. Her daughter looked longingly at the water. A quiet hush fell over the poolside. Then Karen looked straight at me. Not with hatred, not with a smirk, with something I didn't expect, defeat and maybe just a hint of regret. She opened her mouth, maybe to apologize, maybe to blame, but said nothing. She walked away and no one stopped her. A letter at my door. A week later, I found an envelope on my doorstep. Not taped this time. Placed gently, I recognized the handwriting. "Ethan, I still think you embarrassed me on purpose. But maybe I needed it. The board is gone. My debt is paid, and I'm not coming to the pool anymore. Not because I'm banned, but because I'm embarrassed. You didn't destroy my family. You just made me see what everyone else saw. I'm not saying sorry. Not yet, but maybe soon." Karen and I didn't write back, but I didn't rip it up either. I folded it, put it in my binder, under a new tab labeled Resolution, Epilogue. Calm waters and quiet victory. Summer rolled on. The sun warmed the pavement. Sprinklers whispered across lawns. The pool stayed blue. No more drama. No more shouting. Sometimes I sat by the water, closed my eyes and listened, not for chaos, but for the absence of it. People still talked about the incident, laughing lightly over lemonade, calling it the Green Revolution, the Emerald Uprising, or my personal favorite, the day the pool decided to fight back. But eventually, even the memes faded. Calm became normal again, and me? I wasn't a hero. I wasn't a villain. I was just a tired man who loved a quiet swim. And finally got it back. One afternoon, as the sun dipped low and the water glimmered gold, I whispered to myself, I didn't start a war. I ended one with powder, patience, and petty perfection, and the water, peaceful and blue, kept my secret. Powder, patience, and the first splash of chaos. Every plan begins with a quiet moment. The world still, your heartbeat loud, and a decision heavy in your hands. Mine just happened to involve a shiny silver packet of pool reactive powder I'd ordered online at 2 a.m. The label read, Aquaglow Calcium Color Burst. Safe, non-toxic, turns water neon green with skin contact. No harm. No damage, just truth floating in technicolor. I didn't want revenge. I wanted justice, and maybe a little entertainment. Setting the stage Saturday. The sun was barely up. The birds hadn't even finished their morning arguments. In the trees, when I walked toward the pool with a gym bag, the place was empty, chlorine still lingering from the night filter. Cycles. Perfect. I kneeled by the maintenance system, opened the filter grate, and carefully poured in the powder. It dissolved invisibly, sinking into silence like a secret waiting to surface. No dramatic music, no lightning in the sky, just a man, a plan, and the faint hum of the pool's circulation pump. By 9 a.m., I was back home, iced tea in hand, waiting. Karen's Grand Pool Takeover, Part 2, 11:07 a.m. Right on schedule. 3 SUVs pulled up by the pool gates. Inside, Karen, wearing her zebra-striped swimsuit cover and a visor that could detect solar flares. Her kids trailing giant inflatable unicorns. Her sister's family carrying bags of snacks, sodas, and enough sunscreen to coat the sun. They didn't scan passes. They never do. They just walked in like the HOA logo was their last name. From my porch, I watched them splash into the water like royalty, taking a bath in public taxis. Nothing happened immediately. Then, at 11:23 a.m. it began. The green bloom it started subtly, a faint swirl of pale green trailing behind Karen's son as he swam underwater. He didn't notice, but I did, then more. Green began radiating around every splash, every kick, every sunscreen-coated limb. Within minutes, the once blue water looked like radioactive lemonade. Karen floated on a pink flamingo float, sunglasses on, sipping iced tea. She didn't notice the trail of bright slime hugging her body like a glow-stick aura. Then her daughter screamed, "Mom, the water's green!" Karen dismissed it. "It's just the sunlight. Stop being dramatic." Then more voices. "Why are my legs green? Is it algae? Are we gonna get sick?" Panic sparked like fireworks. Karen finally sat up. She looked down, her arms neon green, her face drained of color, except for the bright, glowing water hugging her skin like a guilty highlighter mark. Chaos, cameras, and Karen versus reality kids scrambled out of the pool, leaving wet, glowing footprints on the concrete. Her nephew ran to the bathroom yelling, "I'm turning into the Hulk." Someone started crying. Someone else was filming. Ah, yes. The camera's neighbors had started gathering. Silent spectators with iced coffees, phones out, capturing every dramatic meltdown in 4K clarity. Karen, dripping and furious, stormed out of the pool. "Who did this? This is an attack. This is a chemical attack." Nobody replied. Her husband sniffed the water. "It smells like chlorine." Her sister dipped a finger. "It's not burning. It's just bright." Karen spun around, eyes landing on me, the man on his porch, calmly sipping tea like a retired detective who'd seen this coming all along. She pointed. "You! What did you do?" I raised an eyebrow. "Good morning, Karen. Lovely shade of emerald you've chosen today." Gasps, stifled laughs. Someone actually choked on their lemonade. Evidence and calm fire. She marched up to me, dripping like a furious sea monster. "This is harassment. This is illegal. I'll have you fined, arrested. This is chemical warfare." I didn't stand. I simply held up a laminated safety sheet. "Aquaglow powder," I read aloud. "Non-toxic. NSF certified." Used for pool parties, color festivals, and prank videos. Completely safe. Also reacts only when the pool is heavily contaminated with oils, lotions, and unfiltered body residues. Neighbors started whispering. So, it only turns green when the water's dirty. Meaning, too many people in without showering? Or sunscreen, sweat, food crumbs? Karen's mouth opened, then closed, then opened again like a Wi-Fi signal, struggling to connect, and just like that, silence. She didn't have a comeback. Her family packed up in embarrassment, leaving behind deflated floats, dropped chips and green-tinged towels. The pool glistened in bright, embarrassing honesty, and for the first time all summer, peace. I didn't celebrate. I didn't gloat. I just sipped my tea, thinking, round one is over. Accusations, viral fame, and the HOA showdown. Karen didn't knock on my door the next morning. She hammered on it. Bam! Bam, bam. I opened it slowly, like a man who had all the time in the world, which, at that moment, I did. Karen stood there in a sun hat and fury, clutching a thick binder like it was a legal weapon. Behind her stood HOA President Mark, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else, not between us. You're being charged with chemical vandalism of HOA property. She snapped, waving papers. I blinked. Good morning to you too. This is serious, she hissed. Your little prank went viral. Yes, viral, because while Karen was yelling at her green nephews, 3 teenagers had recorded everything and uploaded it to TikTok with the caption, HOA Karen's private pool turns into the Hulk's bathtub. 500,000 views overnight. Comments exploding. Memes blooming like algae in untreated water. One was a gif of Karen pointing angrily with the caption, when the free pool turns into Shrek's swamp. Another, plot twist, the pool was just allergic to freeloaders. Karen, obviously, didn't appreciate internet fame. The emergency HOA meeting. That evening, the HOA scheduled an emergency meeting. Not in the clubhouse this time. No, they moved it to the community hall. More chairs, more witnesses, more drama. Residents filled the room, buzzing with barely contained excitement. Phones ready? Eyes bright? Popcorn? Slightly visible in purses. Karen sat at the front, posture straight, jaw set. Mark sat beside her, sweating gently. I sat on the other side, binder in hand, calm as a cat watching birds through a window. Karen stood first. Ladies and gentlemen, our community pool has been vandalized. My family was chemically attacked yesterday. Our skin turned green. Murmurs, someone whispered. You're still fine though, right? Another added, I thought it was kind of pretty. Karen ignored them. This man, she pointed dramatically at me, endangered children for attention. Dozens of heads turned to me. I stood up slowly, like a lawyer in a crime drama who knows he's about to win. With all due respect, I said, clicking my presentation remote, this wasn't an attack. It was scientific demonstration. The projector lit up. Slide 1, Aquaglow calcium color powder, non-toxic, cosmetic grade. Slide 2, safety certification papers from the manufacturer. Slide 3, screenshot of HOA rulebook. Section 2, no resident shall use HOA facilities if dues remain unpaid. Slide 4, spreadsheet of Karen's unpaid dues for 4 months. Slide 5, photos of the pool parties, unregistered guests, grills, trash left behind. Karen's mouth tightened like a malfunctioning zipper. Mark adjusted his glasses. Karen, did you really not pay dues? She crossed her arms. I am a volunteer board member. I do more than anyone here. That should count. Mrs. Lambert stood up. I paid my dues the day after my surgery. What makes you special? Mr. Patel added softly. I got fined because my Christmas lights were still up in January. Meanwhile, your family turned the pool into SeaWorld. The room simmered with overdue honesty. The vote that changed everything. Mark cleared his throat, realizing mutiny was brewing. As president, I'm calling for a vote, he said nervously. First, should Karen be removed from the HOA board due to misuse of authority and unpaid dues? Hands rose, dozens, almost everyone. Karen spun around. You're all ungrateful. Next vote. Second, effective immediately, all HOA amenities require digital keycard entry and confirmed payment of dues. Unanimous. And third, Mark looked at me. Should Ethan face any disciplinary action? Silence. Then Mrs. Donovan said loudly, "Give that man a medal." Laughter. Applause even. Mark smiled awkwardly. Motion denied. No action taken. Karen stood up abruptly. "This is ridiculous. You'll regret this." We're done here, Karen," Mark said gently. "Please sit down." She didn't. She stormed out instead, heels stomping, dignity dragging behind like a broken pool float, viral aftermath and quiet victory. The pool, the privilege and the problem. If you've ever lived in a neighborhood run by an HOA, you already know nothing is truly yours. Your fence height, mailbox color, even the length of your grass must be approved. I used to laugh at it all. Until Karen Whitmore happened. I moved to Willow Creek Estates for peace, quiet mornings, jogs around the lake, and a community pool everyone paid HOA fees to maintain. Every summer, families registered their pool passes, signed waiver forms, and followed the guest rules. No more than 4 guests. No parties without approval, and dues must be paid on time. Simple. Then came Karen. Karen wasn't just any homeowner. She was that homeowner. Blonde bob-cut, clipboard, sunglasses permanently glued to her forehead, and a voice that could shatter glass. She was the self-appointed guardian of HOA rules, until it came to her own family. It started small. Her 2 teenage children would bring friends to the pool daily. Fine. Then her sister's kids appeared. Then cousins of cousins. Soon, it looked like a public water park every afternoon, with inflatable flamingos, coolers, loud music, and pizza boxes floating in the trash cans. The worst part? They didn't even pay HOA dues. One Monday morning while checking my mailbox, I saw her, unlocking the gate for 3 SUVs of relatives. "Morning, Karen," I tried politely. "Just making sure. Did you register all those guests?" She smiled like a crocodile. "Board members don't need to follow every protocol, Ethan. Don't stress." "Oh, I wasn't stressing," I replied. "Just curious." She leaned closer. Her fake perfume nearly made my eyes water. "Maybe focus on mowing your lawn evenly next time. 2 different shades of green is a violation." I stood there speechless. She walked away like she owned the pavement. By mid-June, the pool wasn't a relaxing space anymore. It was Karen's private resort. Her sister would set up tanning chairs. Her nephew brought a portable speaker, blasting music so loud I could feel the bass from my living room. They left soda cans, wrappers, sunscreen slick water trails, and screaming toddlers behind. Neighbors noticed. They whispered, "Why do they get to do whatever they want?" I heard they haven't paid dues in months. Don't complain. She'll fine you for made-up violations. And the worst part, it was true. She'd fine Mrs. Lambert $50 because her garden gnome was too whimsical. She fined Mr. Patel $100 because his trash bin stayed outside for 2 extra hours. But she walked around like she was royalty. One Saturday, I headed to the pool with my book and iced coffee. I opened the gate and stopped dead. Balloons, streamers, a giant banner. "Happy 8th birthday, Madison." 20 kids splashed in the water. A folding table groaned under the weight of cupcakes and pizza. Karen stood beside it wearing a sash that said "Pool Day Queen." I approached her calmly. "Hey, did you fill out a party form for this? You know, the HOA requires reservation and deposit for group events." She didn't even look at me. "Ethan, sweetie, we're board members. We are the form. Even board members have to pay," I muttered. She turned, smiling like a villain in a TV drama. "You're welcome to leave if you're uncomfortable. Or go swim if there's space." There wasn't. Every inch was taken by her family. That was the moment something in me clicked. I wasn't angry. I was done. The next morning I walked into the HOA office. Mark, the president, sat there half asleep, sipping his coffee. "I want to file a formal complaint," I said, placing photos of the party on his desk. He glanced at them. "Oh, Karen's little gathering? Ethan, be reasonable. She's helping organize the summer budget? Let this go, so the rules don't apply to her." Mark sighed. "Look, she's complicated. Just ignore it." I left the office, heart pounding, not from anger but clarity. If the HOA wouldn't enforce rules, then I would, but not with yelling. Not with arguments, with creativity, with something unforgettable. Whispers, evidence, and the walls of HOA politics. The morning after Karen's birthday pool takeover, Willow Creek felt different. Not quieter, just heavier, like the neighborhood had collectively swallowed its voice. For years, people tolerated the HOA nonsense, warning letters for mismatched curtains or mildly enthusiastic Christmas lights. But Karen had taken things to a royal level, and I was done pretending she didn't rule the place like a chlorine-scented dictator. I started with what most people don't expect from a peaceful homeowner: paperwork and precision. Step 1. Gather the proof. I spent the next week documenting everything. Every time Karen's family unlocked the pool gate with their special board member key, I noted the date and time. I took photos discreetly. Her nieces jumping into the pool with takeaway fries in hand. Her brother dragging a cooler bigger than a small fridge. Her husband grilling hot dogs on a portable stove next to the "No Cooking or Open Flames" sign. I even downloaded the HOA guidelines from the official website. Section 3, Paragraph 4. All pool parties exceeding 6 guests must be booked 14 days in advance with a $100 deposit. Section 2, Paragraph 1. Residents with unpaid HOA dues have no right to access shared facilities. Karen had unpaid dues for 4 months. The irony smelled better than fresh chlorine. Step 2. Speak up and watch the circus. Begin. The next HOA meeting was held in the community clubhouse, a place where hope went to die behind beige walls and stale donuts. I arrived early with a binder, a USB drive, and just enough patience to stay civil. Neighbors trickled in quietly, avoiding Karen's gaze. She sat confidently at the front beside HOA President Mark, wearing a pearl necklace and that same "rules are for you, not for me" smile. Mark cleared his throat. Anyone with concerns? I stood up. Karen rolled her eyes. Oh, here we go. I ignored her and placed my binder on the table. I'd like to address ongoing violations of pool regulations, specifically unauthorized use, unpaid dues, and misuse of HOA funds. Karen scoffed so loudly it echoed. Are you seriously still upset about a child's birthday party? I clicked the remote in my hand. The TV behind them flickered to life. Photos appeared. Her family swimming, her relatives hauling in grills, pizza boxes floating in the trash can, time-stamped, organized. Gasps spread like wildfire across the room. Mrs. Lambert whispered, "Finally." Karen stood abruptly. "This is harassment. You're stalking my family." I calmly turned to Mark. According to HOA bylaws, violations include unauthorized guests, unpaid dues, and damage to shared property. I'm simply asking for equal enforcement. Mark rubbed his forehead like he was solving a difficult math problem. Karen, have you paid your dues? She stiffened. I'm handling it. That means no. Karen slammed her hand on the table. I volunteer hours every week. My family deserves some perks. You all benefit from what I do. The neighbors didn't clap, but their silence said everything. We're tired. Step 3. The cover-up. You'd think that was enough. That maybe justice would be served politely and with a side of lemon water. Nope. A week passed. Nothing changed. No fines, no warnings. Karen still strutted around with her sunglasses and superiority. Apparently, Mark had decided to keep the peace by ignoring the issue entirely. One evening, I found an envelope taped to my door, HOA warning notice, harassment and unauthorized surveillance of other residents. Cease immediately or face fines. It was signed by Karen Whitmore, HOA compliance officer. I laughed, actually laughed. Then I folded the notice and filed it in my binder under comedy. Step 4, the spark of revenge. That's when neighbors started coming to me. Mrs. Lambert brought cookies and whispered, "Thank you for speaking up." "We're all scared of her," Mr. Patel said. "I was fined because my garden hose was visible from the road. She paid nothing and uses the pool like a hotel." Even quiet Mr. Donovan muttered, "Do something unforgettable." And that's when the idea formed, not malicious, not harmful, just poetic. I researched pool-safe chemicals. Not the dangerous kind, something theatrical. Something that wouldn't hurt anyone, but would expose everything. That's when I discovered it. Color-activated calcium chloride powder. Harmless. Dissolves in water. Turns neon green when it reacts with oils, lotions, or heavy use. Perfect. The kind of chaos that doesn't destroy, but reveals. I stood at my window that night, watching the still blue water of the pool shimmer under the streetlights, and whispered to myself, "Game on, Karen."